Kings and queens, your majesties, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for always returning. Trust you and yours are well and you are loving yourself and others. Like always, many thanks to all of you for the support you give to the channel. Thank you so much to our channel members, to our anonymous supporters, to all of you my esteemed subscribers. You are loved, celebrated and appreciated. So the French government and the Chinese are now putting head together to deal with the Nigerian government. It's a shame anyway, but we have to say it so that maybe we'll start learning from our mistakes. And you're not gonna blame them. You're not gonna blame them because our leaders have always seen everything coming from the West or from China as free things that they have to chop and lick them out. You understand that? Yeah? Okay, for those of you that understand, fine. Our leaders are always so gullible that the moment they hear aid is coming from here, the debt that Nigeria is owing China, it's like one day you will sleep, the whole world will sleep and wake up and discover that Nigeria is part of China. Because Chinese started building their police stations in Nigeria, people started agitating. I don't know if that is still going on anymore. You remember that Chinese restaurant in the heart of Nigeria, in the capital Abuja, that the Nigerians are not allowed into. And the question I asked was, do we have a Nigerian police station in China? The answer is a capital no. Do we have a Nigerian, solely Nigerian restaurant, mall? Is it a restaurant or shopping mall, something like that? Do we have that in China? The answer is a capital no. So why do we have that in Nigeria? Because Nigerians have owed China to the point that the Chinese government are beginning to see Nigeria as their property. What is wrong with us? It wasn't up here we talked about, some days ago we talked about the effect of loans, IMF, World Bank money and what have you that our leaders joyfully go and collect. They go and collect this money with their mouth open wide. The money comes. Instead of them to even do what they are collecting this money for, they share this money among themselves and use a peanut of it on what? Your Majesties. So it is said that the French court has ordered the Chinese firm to seize Nigerian presidential jet over contract disputes. So the French court is ordering the Chinese firm, French court and Chinese firm, to come and hijack presidential jets that belong to the Nigerian government. Presidential jets. Are you seeing how we've been ridiculed? Are you seeing how our mumu have led us to become a laughing stock as the African people? Are you seeing how the Chinese man was right? Yes, so because they are seeing all these things happening. How they'll come and entice the African countries with loan. A lot of African countries are indebted to the Chinese government. Loan. We want to sell our motherland. We don't even care. Our leaders don't care at all anymore. Oh, they have ordered a contract. The government will not pay this Chinese government their money. When I discovered that the Chinese, all these road construction agencies and other contractors uses their own money to fund all these road contracts you see and other contracts. They use their money first, then the government pay back. It's a norm sometimes, yes, it's fine. But I was scared because the moment they say I will do and you pay back, that is dangerous. It's just like you are owing now. You are owing the same thing like all this IMF fund and World Bank loans. Nothing is for free. How will somebody come to tell you, okay, I'm going to do this thing for you for free, then you pay me small, and you agree? Do you think that person does not have any ulterior motive? It's not a hearsay because most of you don't like believing. So we'll be bringing receipt for you now so that you'll be seeing it.
A Chinese company has seized 3 presidential jets belonging to Nigeria government, including the new one they just bought. Let me explain. Now, let me give you a summary of what happened to Nigerian presidential jet, why it was seized and why it's not in Nigeria. Remember a few months ago when Nigeria government complained that the presidential jet is faulty, that the president cannot be flying that jet again, and which resulted to them saying that the president took a commercial private jet which is not good for Nigerian government. So during that period, the Nigerian government said that they want to buy another presidential jet for Nigerian president because the old ones are not good again, they are faulty. So they decided to sell it. So the Nigerian government shipped all the presidential jet that was faulty to France, to sell or maybe to fix it for sale. And why those presidential jets was there for sale, the Nigerian government already purchased another brand new presidential jet that was supposed to be delivered to Nigeria, but for some reason the delivery was delayed. Now let's go back to why Chinese companies seized those presidential jets. So in 2016, a Chinese company did a contract job for Ogun State, Nigeria. Ogun State that is in Nigeria. So after that contract, the Ogun State government did not keep to their own agreement by paying the Chinese company their money. So the Chinese company left. Since then, the Chinese company have been trying to reach Ogun State to pay them their money, which is $74.5 million, not naira, or $1 million. The Chinese company has been calling for Ogun State government to pay them their money, and Ogun State government have been shunning them. So the Chinese company took Ogun State government to court to pay them their money, and they won the case. So since that time, Ogun State government has been ignoring the court order. Anyway, the thought is in Nigeria where they ignore court order anyhow. So fast forward to now, the Chinese company now realized that Nigeria have 3 presidential jets parked in France. So the Chinese company took that court order, went to France, petitioned Nigerian government there, requesting that those 3 private jets be seized in France. And the France government, who recognized the court order, decided to seize Nigerian 3 presidential jets, including the new one that the Nigerian government just bought and they were waiting for the delivery. And that is how the Chinese company successfully seized Nigerian 3 presidential jets. And the US court has also authorized Chinese companies to seize any assets belonging to Nigeria if Nigeria is owing them. In response to this, the Nigerian government is saying that the Chinese company do not have any right to seize Nigerian presidential jets, as Nigerian presidential jet is a diplomatic jet, meaning that is immune to seizing or is immune to such kind of case. That the issue that happened is between a Chinese company and the Ogun State, not Chinese company and the federal government of Nigeria. The Nigerian government is currently assuring Nigerians not to panic, that the presidential jet will come back home. The new one will come back, that Chinese company, they no reach at all to seize any of Nigeria assets. As you may know, the Nigerian government is one of the highest debtors to Chinese. So if the Chinese government or Chinese companies start coming to Nigeria to recover their debt or maybe start taking our assets in replace of their money, it means that even you and I might be taken along. So my dear Nigerians, I might implore you at this moment to start learning how to speak Chinese because you might need it in future.
Oh, Your Majesties, this whole in the case I don't understand. It's a bit confusing, but let's try to dissect a little bit. The US government has also involved themselves. The US courts have involved themselves. The US courts, the French courts, with the Chinese firm. Okay. Now the first question is, if a jet is faulty, what concerns the French courts with, okay, let's see. What concerns France with the faulty jet that belongs to the Nigerian government? This is the first question that I want you to have in your head while we keep dissecting, okay? They said it was faulty, it needed to be repaired. Why do you have to fly a jet that is faulty to France? So you mean there's no other place that a faulty jet can be repaired? Oh, God damn it. So the whole of the continent of Africa, a faulty jet cannot be repaired. When we have people like Maxwell Chikumbuktu, who is creating things like this from scratch and giving life to them. When we have young boys, even in the Nigeria that I'm talking about, we have young boys who are producing automobiles, things like jets that they are taking to France to go and repair. So the jet that was faulty, nothing can repair it in the whole motherland except in France. That is where there is something fishy going on. Is either the French government has a connection with how this jet was purchased, and maybe they are trying to say, okay, since you don't want to do what we are asking you to do, return back those jets that we help you procure. Something is fishy there, because I refuse to believe that there is no other place that a jet can be fixed, repaired, other than France. Okay? Secondly, to see how these people have seen this country called Nigeria finish. It is a state in Nigeria that has a problem with what you call the Chinese firm. It's a state in Nigeria. Just like the US has states, so Nigeria has states. It is a state, one of the states. Nigeria has 36, if I'm not mistaken, 36 states. So it is one of the states in Nigeria that has problem with this Chinese firm. So why do you want to tell me that they had to seize three? It should be four, right? They took three plus the new one. They had to seize 4 private presidential jets. Presidential jet is a state that is faulty, but they went to the presidential. Oh my goodness. Can you please explain that to me? Some of you that understand this whole thing. Maybe I'm the one not getting it. Maybe I'm the one not getting it. And then what concerns the US courts with what is happening between the Chinese government and Nigeria? Okay, you can justify that of the French government because the Nigerian people have already carried themselves and dashed the French government when they pack all those presidential jets to France. So France now is involved, right? Now, what concerns the US government? Something is going on here. Like, something is happening here. Your Majesties, they are trying to turn tables around. They are trying to put, there's a game. It's a game. And they are playing it so well. That's what I see here. And then who beside us in the motherland, if we do not begin to pay back the debt that we are owing the Chinese government? I pity also. Because I said there should be a time where we should start flogging our leaders. We go to catch them. Don't do it. Just keep them and flog them on their buttocks with cane. The way teachers flog children with cane on their buttocks when they come late. It's like this is what we should start doing. Because some decisions that are made by so-called leaders, I don't get it. I don't get it. What concerns $75 million a state in Nigeria is owing a Chinese firm? How come now? What is the thing? What are those things you did that you know $75 million? What are those things you did that you can't pay back? Does it mean all this while the states have not been getting allocation from the federal government? Which is a lie. Every year there is always allocation that is sent to states. So what have you been doing with the money that a state as you are owing a whole China $75 billion? Are we not ready to stop being slaves to the world? Are we not tired of being slaves to the world? Why are we doing this to ourselves? All for greed, wickedness, self-hate. This is what is fueling all this nonsense happening. Because if you have your country at heart, you will not do anything that will hurt your country. If you have your state at heart as a governor or as a president, you will not have anything to do with the downfall of that your country. You are only thinking about yourself. Selfishness, greed. That is the second name for our leaders in the continent. And it's quite unfortunate. Like he said, though, Nigerians better begin to prepare yourself. Start getting Chinese name. Because to reach a level now, you have to start speaking fashion. Yes. Oh my goodness, this is laughable and it's unfortunate. I tell you, a whole Nigeria, your presidential jets are with French government. They are holding it down because of the debt one of your states is owing the Chinese firm. And the US is saying, okay, it's telling the Chinese firm now, if Nigeria refuses to provide that money, don't worry, we are not going to release this jet to them. So so this whole sovereign nation that we claim we are, as different countries in the continent, is all a lie. Should I say it's a sham? I don't get it. Leave your thoughts and opinion there at the section, and I'll see you in my next one. Until then, love yourself, love others, stay safe, stay positive, all with your majesties. Bye for now.